Welcome everyone to the Island Life podcast, where we journey onto the island of discovery to relive some of the best and worst moments of Survivor. My name is Will, an experienced Survivor fan, 48 seasons deep, and I will be your guide. And joining us on this adventure is our rising Survivor fan with 12 seasons under her belt, Anne.
Hello.
And this week, a very, very special guest. We are bringing in a fellow Survivor analyst. And the reason any of this even exists, please welcome my mom.
Hey there. Happy to be here.
Yay. Welcome in.
Welcome onto the
Thank you.
For better for worse, you're going to see what we've been up to now.
Yes.
I have to ask first. So when I asked you to join us here as a special guest, we're in the midst of watching a previous season. So suddenly you are given the request to watch 6 episodes in a couple days. So how did that go?
Well, I just thought a mom's job is never done. I had to step up.
Still
and
gotta work.
Answer the call.
Incredible.
Well, we definitely appreciate it. And to be honest, these 2 episodes, the latest 2 episodes on the topic of this podcast, episodes 5 and 6, some very cool things did happen, but I am very interested in your thoughts of the previous episodes, because it's my understanding that even if you had seen this at the time, like the details have been are fuzzy, or maybe this is really your first time watching it potentially. So what are your overall thoughts of, oh my god, they split them by ethnicity?
Well, I was appalled now and I was appalled then, believe it or not. As you know, I'm an OG Survivor fan, started back in 2000, excited for the new concept. And then I kind of fell off after a number of years with kids and the like. But this particular season I had not seen. So I was especially curious how it would do right in 2025, so many years later. And it's a little slower pace, of course, as it is the new seasons. But overall, it engaged me just as it did back then. And it
So
was fun to see not the new, but the recurring players on their original outings, which I had not ever seen. So I was very surprised to see a number of castaways that became recurring characters and reality fame.
Funny enough,
Oh.
we've had the last 2 podcast episodes, we've had 2 different, well, 3 really, different sets of guests, and all of them have kind of made the same type of comment, like, "Oh, it's this person." So for you, Ange, like, now you're kind of hearing, like, there's no details, but somehow, some way, these characters, or at least one of them, has become memorable, clearly.
Yeah. I'm just curious who it is or who are like multiple people that are, because for me, I don't know any of these people. So to me, they don't. I haven't seen them in other shows or reality TV, but my hope is that Billy is in a Finding Love reality TV or something. That's my hope for. I'm hopeful for Billy. Yes.
I'm not sure about Billy.
Oh no.
I'm not sure. Maybe he went into the rock world and maybe he's successful in that. But
Yeah,
I,
maybe,
I,
but not the love world. Is that what you're telling me?
No,
correct.
it's true love.
At least to my knowledge.
Did you react the way Jeff reacted when it's like, Candace from Raro?
Well, I rewound because I said, wait a second. Did she really say that? And she did not. She did use the word we.
It's the moment he looks at her, it's like, I love you too. And I'm like, no, why?
I know. I was also surprised that Exile Island was on this season as well.
Yeah, do
So
you
I
like
was
Exile Island? Like,
I
what are
do
your thoughts
not.
about it? Me
I do not
too!
like Exile Island. So
I'm
when
so
I
glad I'm the
saw it, I
same
said,
one.
not only did they separate these tribes in this fashion, but now we have Exile Island. What did I agree to? And then
I'm so glad to meet an Exile Island hater because that's what I've been telling Will every time. I'm like, "I hate this Exile Island."
yes, I can't I mean I guess it's kind of like a pre-journey. Like now they have journeys. Maybe it was like the origin of that.
Oh, it could be. Do you like
That's
It's a
journeys
possible
possible.
option.
in, like, the present realm?
I don't like the journeys either.
How about you, Will? Do you like journeys?
I like what they do on the journeys, but like in the very beginning, so like in the new era, so that's season 41, 42, 43, let's say,
Mhm.
a lot of screen time was given to them walking up the mountain and talking to each other, and I was interested at that at first, but then like nothing really, because in theory that's like, ooh, building cross tribal alliances potentially, and but that just nothing really came of that. So now in like 44 through 48, they've just fast forwarded that part and they're just instantly at the top. I do like seeing what activity they're gonna do up there. Now the problem, of course, is that usually that activity is who's gonna lose their vote today. And that I do not like. But like the event
Oh, I
of
see. I see what you're saying. So you enjoy the actual mechanics, but not the losing of the votes. I get that.
yeah, I like going like to something's gonna happen. Because in Exile Island, and so there's six episodes of Exile Island. We saw what Jonathan was up to the first time. We saw what Yule was up to his first time. Then who knows what Candace was up to? Who knows?
Yeah, they didn't show anything on
Maybe it was
that.
Adam. I don't even remember. It was Adam or JP. One of them went. We didn't see. We just skipped that entirely. Um, and we saw Jonathan's second time, and there was no one for episode 6. So yeah, this
So
I'm
so
a little
maybe
worried for the
this
rest
is
of
it, maybe?
this. Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't think they're saying it's ending, but maybe. I think in
Mhm.
episode 6, because so if you guys are following along, episode 6 would be the double tribal, not double episode, but double tribal council. So they did not do an Exile Island for that. You know what's bothering me?
Oh,
I
okay.
think is that it's not consistent, and like in this season, like when someone goes to try to Exile Island isn't consistent. If it's from the losing tribe or a winning tribe isn't consistent. Um, when they come back, like whether they're excluded from tribal council or not hasn't been consistent. That
You're so
I
right.
admit that I don't like that.
Yeah, you're right about that. I just don't like how a lot of it's been cut, so I'm like, what's the point if there's nothing of use to be exiled? And I feel like a lot of people aren't when they come back from exile, no one's being like interrogated of enough. Like every time in the current like realm, if you go on a journey, you come back and you're making up a story. And that's my favorite part is when they come back and decide, are they going to make up a story? Are they going to tell the real deal? Or are they going to twist the story? But this time I feel a lot of it just kind of like, oh, you're back. Welcome back. That's it. There's nothing like crazy about
Right,
it.
right.
Besides,
Good to see
yeah.
you. Right.
Yeah, yeah, like,
You know?
Jonathan kinda did do something, like, was like, "Oh, I found it," kinda thing, but everyone else was just kinda quiet, no one's like, "Hey, what did you see there?" Like, "What did you have to do?" or "Did you find anything?" Like, "Tell me for real." But, it wasn't like that.
And Jonathan,
Right, right.
that was at the challenge when Jeff was just asking in general, and I think Jonathan was just answering on he was being genuine, but he's like, I searched, I dug a big hole." And then
Yes.
that's at that,
Yes.
so, like, it depends if someone may or may not interpret that as he found it. Um,
Right. But I don't think people are even thinking like that yet anyway. Probably in the future of the episodes. But the one thing I did like is that they did combine the 4 tribes into 2 tribes.
Yeah, they
I
did
did
it
like that.
quickly. They did
Yeah,
it
very
very
quickly,
quickly.
which is good. Like
Yeah,
they abandoned their crazy experiment.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
like that it was a schoolyard pick, right? That they just had the captains and then they kind of pick evenly, men and women, and then I did like that. And then there's 2 tribes. Because right now in the new season, we have these 3 tribes, small amount of people.
Yeah, I definitely like the big tribes more too, for sure.
Yeah, no, I definitely like it.
The 4
And
tribe
then
has made it tough to keep track of who's where, and I even
right,
feel
and
like
it's a larger cast, so it's also hard.
exactly. I feel like even what they're wearing is making it confusing because their color codedness was for their original tribes, of which there were 4 different colors. So and like I don't think they're wearing their buffs very prominently either. And so like sometimes like when they were all because in one of the immunity challenges when they were putting weight on different people, like,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
people are walking back and forth, crisscrossing across each other, and I'm like, "Man, who's I don't know who's on who. I gotta wait till they get back to camp, and then I'll know who's which
Then you'll know who won. That's so true, and then there's more of an emphasis in these earlier seasons on, the fishing, like the survival part of Survivor.
Yeah, for sure.
Well,
Versus like current, they're just making rice and trying not
Right,
to lose
right.
rice. Now everyone's like
Co
fishing.
Right, they have all these, these fruits and the fish and the fire. I guess Jeff was softer back then. He allowed all that.
well well, to defend Jeff here, I mean, they're going out and doing it, and not
That's
just
true, that's true.
and multiple different people, because originally on, oh boy, the Red Tribe, the one that Ozzy was on, and,
Mhm.
I think Christina and Billy, uh, like, they had fish, um, the blue I think, like, it was either JP was catching fish. Like, a lot of like, separate people were contributing. Nate, uh, from the original Yellow Tribe, and now that there's 2 tribes, now both tribes have multiple people who seem to be confident and competent enough to go out and do it, so, I mean,
Right, right.
I mean, the
But they were supplied the fishing gear and all that from the marooning,
for
I
the
assume.
marooning, that's right, yep, that's
Yeah,
exactly right.
so
So
now
they
they don't
all
get
got
anything. The
yeah, no,
machete, what are you gonna do with that? And, I forget what else they get.
I think they got a single pot.
Oh, the pie, of course, the pie.
Funny you mentioned
But
rice.
it was a
I
longer
don't
a
I don't even
longer
see them eat I don't
season
even
too.
see them eating rice. They got so much other stuff that are not don't bother with rice.
No, they really don't. They got the coconuts, they got the fish. I do wonder, I keep on saying this, but every time I'm like, I need to look at the ecosystem of Fiji because maybe like the fish in Fiji are just not big enough or like it's hard to catch by hand or just not worthwhile to eat. Or is it the Fiji fish is poisonous or something? So they're like, don't eat that.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
just
yeah.
curious
You mean
because
for, like, the current seasons where
yes.
we don't see anymore.
Yeah.
Right, that they're using the same islands. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a
They're
possibility for
extinct.
sure.
They overfished the seas now.
Well, even the coconuts, like, they only grow right? They can't if they continuously take the coconuts, right? How much how far do they get replenished?
That's
That
true.
I don't know how it all grows, but it's interesting. But that's what I thought of those 4, episodes.
Yeah, so do you think if you were watching in or when you were watching, like 2006, like if you had sat down and watched all through, like, would there be in episode 1, episode 2, would there have been a point where like, "Nope," you stop, and then you would never
Well, yeah,
get to the
that I think the point happened before where I was like, "Okay, I don't think I could commit
Oh,
myself to
okay.
this one." I
I s
said, because you
Mm.
there was like entertainment magazines and TV Guide, and they kind of tell you about the upcoming season. And unless you were committed to recording it on the VCR, there was no streaming, there was no DVR, none of those things. So, and like if you missed the episode, you were out of luck. So this must have been like a 4. I would be curious. What number is this? 13, you
13
said?
aired in, like, September 2006.
So that's yeah, I was about to say that was probably a winter season.
Yeah, yeah.
But I would I'm sure the ratings were good, especially since they abandoned it pretty quickly, and nothing really negative came out of it, in the news and stuff like that.
I thought the contestants too and how they react made it okay. I think, like, if there were certain people or certain contestants and what they say or maybe it got cut, I mean, who knows, right? With all the edits, it could really change everything,
True, true,
but,
true.
I think from the edits and how the contestants were, it made it a controversial thing less controversial.
Right, and the contestants didn't know it until they were told, like, on the beach.
Yes, yeah.
So I think they must have been shocked on that, but this would never happen today.
Oh, for sure, yeah, that would
Yeah,
be
they couldn't do it. It would be too much of a backlash about
yes,
it.
yes, it'll be canceled
For
before we know it.
I know, we won't get today I saw a thing, it said, "We interrupt this programming no, this content to, uh" we interrupt the content for season 50 to introduce the contestants for the season 49 because, they're getting lost in the shuffle, poor things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know,
so
it's
but
totally skipped
I
49
know, I
and
know.
only to 50, and it's like, "Oh, now people are excited about 50, but what about 49?"
Right, right,
Honestly,
right,
maybe they should
exactly.
just I mean, it can't be done, but they if they could just still make all their money, they should just not air 49 till after 50 to let 49 get their time in the sun.
Well, they have filmed how they film 2 seasons a year, they have flip-flopped them, but this one they can't flip-flop because it's
Right.
50.
Just even though it's 50, you just say, "We aired it out of order." Just believe it's 50. And then, like, we filmed it it's the 50th one that's filmed, not the 50th that's aired, it'll be fine. Uh,
It'll be fine. It'll be good.
especially
People will still watch.
um, but yeah, okay, so let's get into, these 2 episodes. I think both episodes' strongest points were their challenges, which is not often what we say in Survivor, but maybe more often in these days. But I'll still try to find some points aside from, the challenges.
I mean, they were
In
both physical challenges, different type of physical, but they were both, you needed to swim on the other one, right?
Right, right, so that's actually that's where I wanted to start. So,
Okay.
the aftermath of episode 4 is when big strong guy JP, the one that was, like, lounging on the logs, and he was kind of each is portrayed as if he's, like, the king of the tribe, so he ends up getting voted out by a lot of the people, actually, kind of in the end, most people went around for that, and so his strength will now not be available for these challenges that are about to happen, and on both tribes, what the edit shows us is the men of the tribe noticing that the women of the tribe seem to be, uh, just, like, lounging around, not doing anything, which is interesting because pretty much all the previous episodes, like, somebody has been portrayed like that. So that was Saku in episode 1, then Billy in episode 2, um, and 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 now for both tribes to kinda have that storyline, and we're kinda it's as if it's pushing us towards a men versus women type of thing, which we just got out of what I don't know if you've heard, like, this season is kind of jokingly called Survivor Race Wars. So we
No,
just
no, I
got
didn't know.
out of Race Wars, and now we might it looked as if we were heading towards Gender Wars. Um, it doesn't fully go that way, but that's, I think, the first thing that jumped to us.
I have to look up which season was exactly that. 4 tribes, young women, young men, older men. I'll have to look to see what season that is.
Oh, man, I would be interested on that one. That sounds
And
interesting.
and you guys, the older men and the older women tribe started at 32, 33, or something like that.
No.
Really? What?
No.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
that's terrible. Oh, no.
Yeah. It was a very young season, very young. Like, everybody was young. So all the 20-year-olds were like in the young.
Oh no.
So the people were appalled. They were like, "What do you mean? How did I end up in the older tribe?"
You look
I don't-
around and you're like, I'm in the young tribe, right? And they're like, nope, you're in the older tribe.
Right. I have to look up to see what season that is. But it's coming up because if this is 13, it was definitely before 20.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. It's around. It might have even been. Yeah, I'll look it up. It's around. What we've been doing lately is so we obviously we watch the seasons that air. So that was 47, 48, and it will be 49. And then we started with season 7, Pearl Islands, on this podcast
Oh,
because
Pearl
I
Island.
felt
That
it
was a
would
good
be
one. That was a good one.
exciting, very fun season, and it has a novelty of being one of the older seasons, has loud characters, angry characters, all that good stuff. But then season 50 got announced, so then my priorities had to shift towards those seasons that might be useful to see before seeing season 50. So that's currently what we're in the midst of doing. And I got a list on the back end. But yeah, so in the background we have, is it gonna be men versus women? Is it gonna be just like the workaholics against the more casual laissez-faire people? So those things are in the background. It's always been my I heard it on another podcast somewhere, and I agree with it. Your strategy should be, you need to just do what everyone else is doing. Like, adapt your personality to that. So, like, if you find yourself on a tribe where a lot of people are working all the time and up all day, moving logs and stuff, then that's where you need to be. But if your tribe is much more laid back, then you should not then be trying to get everybody to go do that. Like, you gotta. Uh, so that's usually how. Do you think either of you, would you be more like, let's get things done, or would you be like, not being seen, letting other people get things done?
I'm
Ooh.
afraid I might be like that Christina lady.
Christina the cop. When she's
Yes,
cooking.
yes. Yes. So I would have to be like on my best behavior and try to be relaxed. And
Yeah.
I would say that would be.
It's tough for Christina. I mean, she is portrayed and accused essentially being bossy. That's kind of what it comes down to. But
Yeah, yeah.
really, like, she's found something that I think she thinks she's good at, because she's not the one going out getting the fish, but she's like, let me help prepare the best meal possible. But clearly, the way she's did it has gotten on people's nerves.
Right, right. And you're with people 24/7 and there's no other distractions. So I could see how easily personalities can get on your nerves that would
Yeah.
not normally get on your nerves. I get that.
Yeah, for sure. You're like with them for so long. And it's sometimes when
Mhm.
you don't like somebody, it's like whatever they do, you just don't like them. So it's like
Exactly,
if they didn't
exactly.
like Christina in the first place, which some people didn't or didn't vibe with her, it's like, oh, you may be cooking, but we all can cook. I could boil octopus in coconut water. How hard can that be? So then they're like
Right.
upset with it. But it's like, I don't see, yeah, you're right though. She's not doing it in any malice of like ordering people around. But I feel like for me, I would want to like be the middle ground person. If I were to play, I don't wanna be the one that's active. I don't wanna be the one
Mhm.
that's lazing around. I wanna be the one that's like, "Oh, I'll help out. Do you need help?" Or like, "Oh, let's chill." Yeah, chill, but I don't wanna be the one, like, getting up and like, "Let's do this. Let's go out
Right,
there."
right, right. Because the leader gets, chopped up.
Yes, especially yeah, I feel like a lot of times they always ask that during tribals, like, "Who do you think is leading?" And then they'll be like, this person was saying it, and then the other person will be like rebuting, like, "I don't think I'm the leader here. Like,
Right, right,
I'm just
right.
here." And then
Exactly,
Well, and that goes
exactly.
back to seasons older than this season. Like, the tribes are told to have a leader too. Like, actually, even in Pearl Islands,
Oh.
that happened, where it's like, choose a leader.
Oh,
Uh,
that's true.
and then
That's true.
Uh, so like, but now like we're far like 13, so this is like I think people are aware that it would not be a good idea to publicly be a leader. Um, but clearly it's been a theme of if you're doing nothing, you end up being a threat because alliances don't seem to be the key strategy topic. Like, and to be frank, there isn't a lot of strategy top. There is some, probably more than Pearl Islands actually. Um, but the only alliance we tend to hear about is Jonathan, Yule, Becky, and Candace, which was really Yule and Becky plus Jonathan and Candace, and then like maybe they get other people sometimes.
Right,
Uh,
right. They're
but
strong. They're strong four for now.
so aside from that, alliances haven't really come like, oh no, the women are voting together. Oh, the men, we don't wanna leave like the previous 3 and 4 where the women were like Parvati and company. We're like, I don't know if we should have all the men. But like that's like a one night thing, and then we're not talking about it now. So I'll be curious if and when more alliance talk comes up, or if this will be it. Does it feel different? For either of you, for alliances to not be a part of the edit, as like really barely at all, to be honest.
I think it does because it's less like the math is harder to math on because during current seasons, I feel like there's some tribals where you're like, okay, this person's definitely gonna vote for this person with this person. So you kind of know, but this time it sometimes it makes it harder to know where they stand. Like I feel like in these two votes, these two tribals that we've watched recently, I couldn't have fully guessed it. It could have been 50-50 because I feel like I can't read anybody. Like Flicka, Jonathan thought, like, she had, like, Flicka in the bag, and Flicka was like, "I don't know," and so it's like, you never know what they're thinking because their alliance is so weak.
No, I think back in this time period, the strategy talk wasn't so much of a focus, at least in the editing. It was more the survival aspect, the living quarters, and the challenges. And then later on, it became maybe because it was smaller groups that the strategy talk was more focused.
Yeah, to keep my tribe life peaceful and keep our tribe strength the highest, which will matter in these 2 episodes because all of the challenges very physical. And when we talk about the next episode, we'll get to something really physical. But even in the first episode, so to remind you guys, the the first challenge this is just reward. This was when you would among your own tribe, you'd pair up and you would be holding on to weights, and every 5 minutes, the other tribe would put more weights on one of the pairs, and eventually you get too much and you drop out, and the last pair standing wins for their tribe. And I thought this was just like a fun spectacle because yeah, especially the who was it? Jonathan? No, not Jonathan. Nate and Adam probably. Um, Either Nate or Adam or Nate, I think it was Nate and Adam, but they were like hugging each other to help each other like
Yes.
hold weight.
Oh my god,
We
yeah,
were
no, they were
holding one
struggling.
another. They were. There's some people that did it very well, but this is such an endurance challenge, which I actually really enjoy, so, it was really good.
And it was all for wine. And there were some other like spices and stuff, but it was for the wine.
Oh, right, right, it was a reward challenge, that's right.
The
And
spices.
yeah, this is actually this type of challenge comes up now and again. The like put weight on the survivors and choose whether to put all of it on the same person or spread it out. I would think you would be best to put it on the same pair until they drop, and then the next pair until they drop, and then the next. Like
Oh.
that's what I think is probably the best. And this time they started a little bit of that, but in the end it looked pretty spread out.
I see
Hmm.
what you're saying. I think I see it, but then I'm also like, would it make those people tire out very quickly? I
It looks bad if, like, they never drop and then, like, all your people drop in the meantime.
yeah,
But
that would
y
be
Yeah,
bad.
it's
but
hard to optimize what's the best,
but I
strategy.
but I but I gotta get them out eventually, so that's what I just figured, might happen. But yeah, this literally got everyone very close to each other. I like that, like, publicly and in their face, like, "I am making life harder for you. If I'm the one putting weight on you, I'm creating a memory, a negative memory of me."
No, no.
So right? It's like tribe interaction. Like, that's a way someone might hold a grudge potentially if they're, like, petty, let's say. That didn't really happen, but that could have happened. So I like the tribe interaction.
Yeah, me too. I like that. I like how they were kind of talking like to one another. Like Flicka is just like trying to get into their mind and was like, it was just really funny because she's just like, oh, it's all mind over matter. It's okay. And I don't know, was she talking to someone like who she was talking to on the other team, but trying to get them to like lose and stuff. So it gets very like, gets pretty personal. I feel like I like this one and the next challenge gets very personal.
Oh, for sure. Definitely.
I think she was taunting Christina, actually.
Oh,
Like,
was
try
it
Oh
Christina?
my,
Okay.
trying to be
Christina
like,
the
"She's gonna
cop.
drop. She's gonna drop." See, like that could've like, if they had both made the merge, then Christina might remember that.
Yeah, I gotta be
Unfortunately, we will
careful.
not see that, but, um or no, she survived this week? Maybe she survived. Who was out on the, uh
Stephanie.
Yes.
but the next episode was
Oh, the next one. The last one, you mean?
yeah, the whatchamacallit, episode 6.
Christina.
Yeah, 'cause that was Christina, that's right, that's right. Well,
Yes.
yeah. Okay, cool.
Well, yeah, speaking of Christina, we had saw in their tribe where she, like, was cleaning out the octopus that was caught, this giant octopus, and she was cleaning it, and Jenny, I believe, was the one that was cleaning her knife, and she was gonna go, she left, and then, Christina loses some of the octopus because of the wave come in, and then she goes and was like, "I thought Jenny was right here," and she says it, like, multiple times, and I'm not sure if she does it on purpose or she truly felt that way, but I was like, "Oh, why did you say it so many times?"
And Jenny's like, "We didn't need 2 people to clean the thing."
Yes,
So
which is very
Yeah, this
true.
is yeah, see, honestly, that I actually that slipped my mind when I was watching the next episode. I mean, that definitely affected Jenny wanting to vote for her and eventually everybody else too, so yeah, that one's on Christina. That's however it happened, however Octopus was lost, she did not handle it the right way, ultimately.
No,
Which
No,
no.
on its
and then those mhm.
by itself, that wouldn't be enough to wanna vote her out, but then on top of everything else.
Right, right. And then those 3 castaways, they go to the other island, which I thought
Oh,
was like,
yeah.
"What?" I was like, "What happened here?"
That I forgot that this happened, and I forgot that it was allowed to happen. I
Right,
was
I'm
like
surprised it was allowed to happen. That's what I was shocked.
so that was, Ozzy, Cowboy, and Flicka.
Was
Oh, and
so
Flicker, right.
shocked when that happened because they were, like, exploring, and I'm like, "Wow, where are they going?" And then, Cowboy picks up the fruit oh, no, I think Ozzy picks up the little thing that was, like, good for, like, wounds, and I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." And then all of a sudden, they're in their camp, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, that's crazy, I've never seen that before." Like, just, like it feels like when you see your teacher in a grocery store moment. It's like, "Whoa, what's happening?"
Right, right, just surreal for sure,
Yeah.
and then it was so awkward, the
I
exchanges,
know.
I was like, "Whoa."
And someone was like the 3 people we, like, the least want to see. I was like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
see,
no."
that's not a good sign, like, if 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 there was Fantasy Survivor in 2006, all 3 of them would lose a lot of stock right now for, like, that being the opinion of them from an entire
Yeah.
tribe. That would not be good.
It was a tough watch, especially seeing, like, Cowboy talk about all the things that everyone's just like, please let it go, let it end. And him asking for spices and grabbing their coconuts. I'm like,
Oh, yeah,
oh,
that
cowboy,
like I'm
please.
like already the jungle is a little iffy because at first they don't know that this is their tribe, so they're just picking from the jungle. So okay, and then they learn it is their beach, and at that point, I think it could be negotiated. Well, whatever you already picked from the trees, you can keep, but like you need to go. But then I don't think it was Cowboy. I think it might have been Ozzy who was like we got. By the way, we got some of the herbs. And he kind of made it sound like we're gonna take some more. That was weird.
Yes.
And then you're right, Cowboy is like, and actually, if you want to just give us some of those spices that you just won, by the way, uh, I'm like, oh my god, like
I
if they
know
didn't dislike you
why.
before, because they probably thought like it's very believable. This is this is serendipitous. We just happened to be here. But now you're asking for stuff. It makes it sound like it wasn't an accident that you planned to come here to trick us to take our rewards.
Oh, yeah. I could see that. I didn't even think about it like that. I just thought they were like, yeah, I could totally see them doing it, being like, oh, wow, you're just here to grab our stuff. And they were talking about helping like climb up coconut trees, open up. But it's like, they're like, why would we do that for you? Like, I think someone mentions, like, how about we go to your island and you help us pick up some of your coconuts or something? It's
Imagine
awkward.
they said yes, and then they all like now they go to the like the 5 people who stayed behind who did not want to go on this are like, you brought blood? You why? What they would be so shocked. By the way, also red flag. Like you're going on some adventure away from your tribe, and you did that in a minority group, as in like there are less of you than everybody else. Bad decision.
Yeah, why would you do that? That's just asking for the other people to talk bad about you and take you out, one after another.
Yeah, definitely separating yourself from the group, not a good idea.
Yeah. Well, what are your thoughts about like one person ended up not going? I think they were who was it? Who ended up was asked to go and then she was like, "No, I'm not gonna go," because she's like in that middle ground of was it
Oh, that's Sundra.
oh, yeah, Sundra, which was smart. I think that was very smart of her because she knows she's kind of like in that middle ground and she was kind of pulled in by Yule. And I thought that's really good.
Well, kind of the same thing. Like if she had said yeah. So Sundra is alone in terms she has no one from her original tribe of 5 there. So if people vote on tribal lines, she would be by herself. And if she goes with that group, there's an unspoken split then 4-4. Whereas if she stays behind, I don't know. I don't know that she's strategically thinking. It might have just been like, I don't want to go on some crazy trip. But if she stays with everybody else, that's a group of 5. That's a majority. Feels better.
It was a good decision for her to stay behind.
Now, the other challenge in episode 5 was a water challenge. So they start on the beach. They and actually the reward challenge was called because I'm looking at it right now. That was called "Never Tear Us Apart," which sounds so romantic as the boys are hugging each other. And immu-
Oh, okay.
the immunity challenge was called "United We Stand," and this was on the beach. The tribe members construct these big poles, like platform-looking things, like circular platforms. And when they're done, they walk out to the water, and then 2 of their tribe members need to balance on top of each pole and kind of like get across the gap of water. And if they're able to do that, then every single tribe member needs to climb this platform on the water. That's like a very small square and somehow get all of their feet to fit above that without falling down. This
Yeah, that was
tribe was
very elaborate challenge for sure.
and it was close like in each of those stages, which does not usually like this tribe huge lead and then we're waiting for is are they gonna catch up or not? That's usually but this one, I mean it was close most of the challenge.
It
Yeah, I
was
Just
like
was
really
this challenge.
close.
It was very physical because everyone had to hold on to that stick platform, and then the girls have to, like, get on it, balance, walk over it. I'm surprised they didn't fall. It was very impressive. I would have fallen right
Yeah.
away.
Like, uh-oh.
Yeah, I would fallen, and then they were like, "Tonight it's Ange. Tonight you go home." And then the fact that all of them have to step on this platform was I can't even imagine. Like, Flica, I don't know, she was just levitated by just the human like, everybody around her.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's just it was good TV. Like it was a spectacle on the screen. It was cool to look at, and uh, it felt very refreshing compared to I think similar to some of the other seasons we've watched. There's a lot of variety in what the challenge looked like the stage because this is still like people complain about the current era and it's been going on for a while. So even like before season 40, uh, well, it's like a three or four stage challenge. You're running. Uh, there's some physical part in the middle, and then at the end, you're solving a puzzle. Usually, like a literal like move the blocks around to make a puzzle, and that's a lot of the challenges fit into that template. Uh, this like I feel most of these challenges have been not only different from each other, but like organized differently. Like this one to finish a challenge, like everyone needs to be standing on top of it, like together. So that's a teamwork challenge. That's a like dexterity, flexibility, balance. Um,
Right, right. It requires a lot of different skills.
challenge before this was in endurance. We had a couple, I think, so far, but like endurance challenge, but a tribe version of endurance challenge. We had the one where they're running around the oval to catch each other challenge. So a lot of these are like different from each other. I really don't like puzzles I think are very useful. Like something that's not exclusively strength based is a good part of a challenge. It's just that
Mhm.
every challenge in the new era seems to be that template, so it just wears on you. If it only happened like twice in the season, then it would be fine, I think.
Right, right. And
Yeah.
the person, I don't remember his name, that does all the challenges, prepares, maps it out, has been the same person. So it's not like it's not in his wheelhouse to change it up.
Oh, you mean
I
like
didn't know
since the
that.
beginning, the same person?
Since the beginning, yeah. He's one of three that are from the original in their particular like and then there's somebody in the arts. Obviously Jeff's been there as the host and then now the showrunner. But this guy and he was in New York actually, uh, and then somewhere else, maybe California, with some of the challenges that can travel. So get people, to try it out, have fun.
Wow.
That's cool to
Yeah.
know.
So it's within his ability to change up the
I don't know.
challenges. So
Does
I'm
that
not sure
make
why he
me
doesn't do it.
does that make me more less mad or more mad? I don't
I don't know. It might make you more. I don't know. Sorry about that.
know. uh, so after that immunity challenge, it is Raro wearing blue that loses, and the storyline of this tribal council, it seemed to be aimed at Christina at first, and it was gonna be because people are annoyed at her, basically. But then I don't know. I'm not sure if there's consensus on if she was meaning it or not. But Stephanie offhand comment to Nate says that she just imagine herself back home eating mashed potatoes or just back eating mashed potatoes. So meaning like, oh, when if I'm voted out, at least I'll have mashed potatoes. And Nate just takes this as her is not in the game. She doesn't want to be here. I can't have someone here who doesn't want to be here.
Yeah, that was crazy because I didn't see it as that, but then they flipped it like that, like, "Oh, she's already over it. She doesn't wanna play in this game, and they don't want to, why force them, you know? Let's just take them
Right,
home."
right. Then it snowballed. Before you know it, everybody was thinking the same way.
Yeah, yeah, they can't even argue against it. They're like, "Why would you wanna have someone stay that doesn't want to stay?" So, It's just unfortunate. This whole mashed potato talk.
And some of them go to talk to her about it, actually. So, unlike Christina, they do not exclusively talk behind Stephanie's back. And Stephanie says she wants to be here, but seemingly the damage is done. Especially because there's a previous episode where she seemed more genuinely having a moment of weakness where she did want to go home, but then she was like able to collect herself. So
Right,
this is kind of
right,
like
yeah.
strike two against her. And in this game, 2 strikes is enough.
Yeah, it's like you say it enough where you're like, "Okay, you're telling me that you don't seem to be one your head's not in the game anymore, and how can you win challenges if you're not?" So unfortunately, she seems like she was the one to take out.
One interesting thing is I notice for a lot of the cast, their original tribes haven't been a huge factor. So you talked about being able to predict like vote like where people are gonna vote. So Nate, Rebecca, and Stephanie were all on the original tribe together. And they could have been strategizing together all this time and voting with each other all this time. But seemingly that I mean they're friendly with each other, but we're not shown that story really at all. Um, they have no problem getting rid of her here. And that's mostly true for everyone. In the episode we're about to get into, it's actually only really Cao Boi and um not Jenny, who was the other lady? It could have been Sandra or it could have been Candace. One of them like speaks of the all tribes as a threat at the merge, but otherwise it doesn't really come up. So I'll be curious if as we get close to a merge, whenever that's gonna happen, will we hear more people being worried about the original tribes or not?
They really haven't talked much about the original tribes, like, not as much as I thought they would. I think it's because they split it off so fast that the relationships just aren't as close, like, they spend more times being this new, split in these 2 groups than they did in their 4. So I don't think the original lines are that strong anymore because besides, I guess, Becky? Yul and Becky?
Yeah.
Those are the only 2, but they're also, like, the only 2 that has made some sort of relationship that I could see. Um,
Right, since they've been together since the beginning.
yeah. And I guess, like, maybe in the merge, then you'll see, like, Candace and is his name Adam? What's his name?
Oh yeah.
Mm,
Oh,
yeah, Adam, yeah, I think Candace and Adam, when they
the
merge together, I
cuddle
think they'll come
buddies.
back. Yeah, the Cuddle Buds. I think they will come back together. Um, but other than that, I don't see anyone close to anybody.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see how that develops. So we lose Stephanie. Um, the main thing at this tribal council though is poor Stephanie, not even the highlight of her own tribal council because um people just say straight up that at tribal not interface, I guess in front of her face behind her back, they're like, yeah, Christina's annoying. Like she's the one who sticks out. Like they just say at tribal
I
council.
know. Oh, yeah, Christina's really
Yeah,
catching
no.
it. Yeah.
Poor Christina, I know.
I know. I think, like, I could get why she was so and, like, back into the, like, at home, she was shocked, she was upset, which I could kinda see why too, because especially if she never saw her being that way, like, to hear that in tribal and you're like, "Wow, everybody just hates me," is kinda, like, shocking.
Yeah. And that is how the next episode 6 starts. So it's the aftermath of this tribal where uh Christina obviously is like wants some answers and the way this is really supposed to go is it's awkward for everyone. No one's really saying everything. Maybe someone kind of rudely says, "We'll talk about it in the morning." I've seen that before. Or everyone just lies to each other like, "Oh, don't worry, it's fine. That was just tribal talk." Instead of all that, Adam very aggressively just is like, "Yep, I stand by everything I said. You're annoying," and that is what it is. Because Christina's kind of taken the side of like I'm sorry, but like being a little defensive, like what did I do that offended you? I'm sorry if I offended you, type of thing. But Adam doesn't really want to hear it. Like not necessarily saying like you're a horrible person, just like we don't gel and it is what it is. Like I'm not even gonna give you tips on how to change yourself because you can't change. Is the attitude he's taking.
Yes, yes. He definitely doubles down on whatever he said at Tribal.
And Adam, he's also was he the one that didn't want like there was a day when they were gonna like lift the floor of the shelter. Was he the one getting upset?
Oh,
Uh,
yes. He got upset with all the girls in the original
and
tribe, and
Jonathan.
Candace was, like, so embarrassed. Basically, was like, don't be like that." And then he was like, "No, I got it. It's okay." It's like, "No, you can't read the room, and you stink at that." That's the thing I feel like I miss if it was currently, they wouldn't do that because you don't wanna make it obvious that you don't like somebody, that they're gonna be voted out, because what if they have the idol? So it's like, it's just kind of funny to see, like, when you don't like somebody, like, currently in this current season that we're watching right now, you could just say it with your full chest out. It's okay, because what are you gonna do? You know? Unless you, I guess, you go on a journey or your exile island. But other than that, you can't go I'm not worried about anybody randomly finding an idol or a shot in the dark.
Which is funny because
Right.
they should be they should be at least thinking about it. But I guess you only need to worry about it if you're one of the people that's been to Exile Island. And as Christina has not been, then therefore I know she does not have the idol. So who cares if she knows that she's an enemy because she can't do anything about it. So yeah, that's interesting. So would either of you want to watch a season and season 50 in the hands of the fans gave you this option? You could have voted for no idols. Like back to old school Survivor.
No. There's gonna be idols. There's gonna be idols. I
Well,
don't care what it said.
you may be right, but you let's say in the hands of you instead of the hands of the fans, because like this just if you're the fan of watching tensions boil and people be angry in a world where I don't have to worry, like Ange said, I don't have to worry about hidden immunity idols. I am more likely to just vent my feelings towards you. I'm
Mm.
not worried about it. Or do you need
Right, so
for
you
real
think that
potential?
you think people would like conflict, to air
Yeah,
conflict.
yeah, so well, what do you like? So, do you like conflict so much that you would forego idols existing? Or do you
No,
do that?
because they it's too much conflict, right? And
Mhm.
this is a competition show, so you don't want the you
That's
don't
true.
want
You're
it to
not
be
here for
one
the
of the others.
drama. You're here for the
Correct.
strategy. Okay, I see. Yeah.
Right. And there's drama and strategy, so you could put
Yes.
it there. And Jeff has said he doesn't want villains anymore,
Oh,
so
really? He's not into villains?
that's what he says. You never know with him,
Which
but
I
yes.
don't which Jeff, like, how out of touch can you be? But sure, whatever. Just
That's how he says.
I feel like I haven't met, like, I guess, like, one person that I met that's, like, quote, unquote, "villainous," but other than that, feel like I met a true villain. Like, the villain guy would be Johnny, uh, with the dead grandma joke, but, like,
Oh, okay.
that's all I
Oh,
got
yeah,
as,
fair
like, a
play, Jolly fair play.
Right.
villain.
Well, I guess what he probably meant was like to portray someone as a villain,
I
right?
see. Okay. Yeah, I wonder,
We
like,
don't know.
I wanna see a villain. I wanna meet a villain.
Oh,
Alright, well, you've made the request, I will do my research.
Yes, I'm
I will
excited.
find you.
The villain.
See,
Um,
unfortunately, there's a perfect season for that, but in order to watch that season, we have to watch, like, at least 5 other seasons first. But
oh.
eventually we'll get to that.
that is true. One does exist.
Mm. Yeah, I feel like I like the idols because I think it's more I like the strategic plays. I don't want
Mhm.
it to be like it's over for that person because I love the idea of everyone's gunning for this one person, but they actually have an idol this entire time and they are able to use it correctly, amazingly. Chef's kiss to me.
Yes.
Speaking of, in this episode, later on in the episode, we will hear a very strange story from Cao Boi. The story about a dream. There's like shamans and like people kidnapping others. Credit card applications are going to be given to him. I had no idea where he was going with this story, but somehow that what that tells him, and he tells to Yule, is I know how to defeat the immunity idol. If we put 3 votes on Jonathan and 3 votes on Candace, then if Jonathan has the idol, he'll have to use it. Thus, it's gone, and we get out somebody else that we want. And when I heard that, by God, Cao Boi invented the split vote.
He was ahead
I
of his
didn't think of
time.
that. He was ahead. And even Yule was like, "Oh, this is genius." But I have the idol.
Yes. He was like, "Wait a minute, but,
Yeah.
I don't want you to use it on me when you find that out. I'm scared now." And his dream, I was like, "What is happening, Will? Did I miss 5 episodes? Like, what is with his dream?" I think that dream really, like, overrided the amazing idea, because if I was, like, Yule listening to this, I would be like, "Love that idea, but can we go back? What were you talking about? What dream? Like, what vision?"
Oh,
Just
yeah, it was complicated for sure.
yes, yes. But it was very smart though. Yeah, for sure. It was
Yes,
very
yes.
smart move to do that. But I believe but Yule is working with Jonathan and Candace, so it's just like strategically for Yule wouldn't make sense.
Right, right.
Well, it ends up being a bad read for Cao Boi, where he believes that Yule is closer to him than anybody else. And since that's not true, because I think like his plan does need 3 and 3, and so he just picks. He decides that Candace and Jonathan are the outsiders, and because he's wrong about that, it ends up being one reason that leads to his demise. But we'll get to that in a moment. I just wanted to highlight he called it Plan Voodoo, which we just have to remember whenever you see a split vote, flushing idols, and all that. Cao Boi did it first. Or
Mhm.
tried to do it
Okay.
first.
I like
Right,
it.
right.
Unfortunately, I don't know that I guess he did. I mean, he told the plan to the rest of the tribe other than Candace and Jonathan. I don't know that he went so deep into explain it as a idol killer to everybody else. But you're right. Yule's like, the one person that knows how to defeat my idol. I need to get rid of that one person. uh so I thought that was cool. The reward challenge, which is the only challenge this episode. This was something else. It was aptly named Kicking and Screaming. And it is set up where you'll have 3 members of your tribe just sitting on the floor, grabbing a post. And then 2 people from the other tribe are going to run to you and rip you off the post by force and drag you back to the mat by any means necessary. And the first team to do that 3 times wins. This, I have to think about all 48 seasons. This is maybe the most physical challenge I've ever seen.
And this was tough. This was a hard one.
Yeah,
It
no,
is
this
very
was
physical.
this was brutal. It was like that was aptly named Kicking and Screaming. I wasn't kicking, but I was like, "Oh my god, somebody's gonna get hurt with all these pull-ins and
Yes.
yankings."
I know the way they're, like, pulling your leg, like, what's the rule? There's no rule. You could just pull however you want. It's, like, could be pain induced, and it's not like them just pulling them, like, with something over it. They're, like, pulling their arm and yanking their leg. This was so physical. I can't imagine that.
I'm just not used to
Yeah.
seeing them touching each other, like being in contact with each other. That just never happens, let alone just manhandling each other. And this is,
I
this
definitely
is
feel that.
season 13, right? Like this is not season 1. So I was very surprised. I mean, it was entertaining. I was captivated.
I
And
had
now
one eye closed. I was like, "Uh-oh. If I
Worried
have to
someone's gonna get
pause
hurt.
it if I have to
Yeah.
pause it, it's somebody's gonna get injured. I have to call medical." I don't like those.
Yeah. If anything, I feel like the girls were, like, very rough, like, more rough than
Oh,
the
yeah, they
guys.
were bringing it on for sure.
Yeah. They're not kidding. Like, Candace, hold on. She was so good.
yeah, and then Flica and Christina. See, look at this. That's a connection from the previous episode. I didn't even notice that. Continue the rivalry from like a kind of trash talking in the other challenge. I think like at
Yeah.
one point both of them are like on each other's necks, so then Jeff has to be like no choking, no hair pulling.
Oh my gosh.
I
Eh
know, I just don't recall a reward challenge being this physical. I mean, this is just for reward.
Yeah. That's true. I was like, "Wait, this is just for reward, that's not even for immunity," and they're going so crazy for it. And again, like, if they all make it to the merge, this is something you'll remember, which is like, you're playing the
Yeah,
long
yeah.
game, but, like, you wanna represent your, like, tribe, but at the same time, it's like, "How am I gonna play?"
And obviously you can't be seen as like going easy on them. So like that's
Yeah.
not an option either. Or else you're in danger on your own tribe. Especially because we said this is reward challenge, but the reward is you're gonna get lamb and apple cider, which is nice, but it's gonna happen at tribal because both tribes are gonna vote someone out. But if you're the winner of this challenge, you're gonna go first, you'll vote someone out, and then you're gonna eat and listen in to the other team's tribal councils. That was the one of the twists
Right, right, right.
in this episode. So it ends up being I2 that wins, and that's the tribe with Jonathan and Sundra, Ozzy, Cao Boi, etc. So they get to go to tribal council first. We kind of talked about it earlier. So because Cao Boi comes up with this uh plan Voodoo, reading between the lines, it does. In addition to him having gotten on people's nerves in general, he wants to bring the immunity idol to multiple challenges. He even brings it to tribal council. Uh, things
Yeah, I
turn on
know.
Cal.
Jeff was like, "What's up with the idol?" Or the immunity thing.
Yeah, it honestly feels weird to have it at tribal, if anything, because like
Yeah.
if you're holding that, you shouldn't be here. So
That's true. That's true.
it's like sacrilege.
So
Uh,
true.
yeah, but and ultimately we don't really see like it was just the edit was will plan Voodoo be able to be executed, or they didn't really give us the or actually. Like we knew that Jonathan wanted Cao Boi, but and everybody else is either like nothing, we don't know what they want, or like there's proof from Ozzy, like, I don't know, I'm conflicted. We'll see what I do. And what it would be would end up being Cao Boi. As 6 people all vote for Cao Boi. Cao Boi himself votes for Candace. Flicka votes for Jonathan. So I think she followed Plan Voodoo. So actually, probably not great for her because now she's the only one left that wasn't part of that.
Right, right.
Yeah, that does put her in a bad spot. I wonder, like, how much did he explore this plan? Like, how much was it talked? How much did he even talk about? Like, I guess because it didn't work out, they didn't put it in, but I also want to see it though, despite it not working out, because that's part of the fun in terms of seeing Cowboy trying to persuade people of the plans.
Yeah, we saw like a little bit. And if you think about logistics, like you need to explain it, you need to pick your primary and secondary target, and then you have to pick which of the 3 people voting for Jonathan and which 3 people are voting for Candace. There's a lot of steps. Yeah, like, it sounds easy, split vote, but there's like many steps to that to get all set up. And you're right, we didn't see. I mean, because it didn't happen. We didn't see it. as in it didn't. The plan didn't happen.
Right.
We saw that they were aware of it because there's a point where Cao Boi's like, all right, everyone's for Plan Voodoo, right? And a couple people say yes, kind of quiet.
Maybe
But
if he wasn't like on the chopping block, maybe they would have listened more. And if he didn't tell Yule,
well,
since Yule's the one with the thing, but
it really feels like that. I mean, he doesn't know. I mean, the only thing I could say is his logic is Jonathan's been to exile twice, so he has the
right.
highest odds that he has it. And he acknowledges that Yule was there once, but he just decides like,
Well, maybe he feels like if Yule would have gotten the idol, he would have told them, since they're close.
yeah, that's a fair point. And in fact, he did tell Becky, but not him.
Right.
Yeah, that's oof. So we lose Cao Boi. Cao Boi, I think in the he was also a captivating character in present day and probably back then also probably a problematic character too. His last words, after the credits, essentially was, "I was wary of the other people on my tribe," as in his starting tribe. "I eventually let my guard down and got to know them, but I shouldn't have."
I
I was like,
know. I
"Oh,
was like, ooh, getting a little close there,
No.
Cao Boi. Getting a little close on what you're gonna say. I was like, ooh, okay. Yeah, I feel bad. I think Cao Boi he was a character to watch. But I think he lacked the ability to read the room. Like to understand that not everyone was on his wavelength, which is, something you'll have to do when you play this game.
for sure, for sure." And lastly, we have the other tribe going to tribal council. So for the second tribal in a row, Christina's in danger. What she does this time, though, is now knowing that they are going to tribal, she does approach a couple different people, and maybe we can assume that she actually went to every single person and basically asked like, can I get a second chance? Like, can we start fresh? Kind of like the thing you do like your last plea when like you're already in grave danger.
Yeah, like the apology tour.
Mhm.
Exactly. Um, so but it looked cringe. But one person, Nate, actually seemed to be like, you know what? And she fought hard in the challenge. I'm okay with Christina now. So I think it seemingly worked for one person.
Right. Right.
Ironically, it is Nate that worked on, but as he is later on picked for something else and he can't even vote or anything. But um I think at that point when they don't like you, it's over, even though there's this nice moment there, it's done. It's like they're not gonna pick someone else. Just wouldn't
Right.
make
She
sense.
didn't have like a ride or die that could, you know,
Yeah.
advocate for her.
And not at all. Like she was really have been on her own this entire time. Like no one has been wanting to work with her since the split.
Right. Right. So
Yeah, and really what does well, I guess you're right. It probably was doomed regardless, but you mentioned Jeff reveals a twist as the other tribe is like feasting that they after listening to all of the questions that Jeff was talking to, they get to kidnap one person from the other tribe who will get to eat and then go back to camp with them and therefore not be part of this vote and can't be voted for either. And since I don't remember every single detail, I just assumed they would pick Christina after hearing that she was in so much danger. But in fact, they picked Nate.
I know. I mean, he must have friends there that want to loop him in or something. I'd be curious what the reason is.
Yeah, me too. I'm shocked because I actually thought it would be Candace, but maybe they didn't want to be too obvious about it. Um, wait, no, Candace was in there, wasn't she? Or was it Adam that I was
No, they
thinking?
could they could they could have picked Adam to
Yeah,
if you're gonna
Adam. Sorry,
say
yes,
that.
to pick Adam, but I think it might have made it too obvious because I feel like Adam, besides Candace, he doesn't really have a whole lot of people there that likes him. But I think Nate is a very likable guy, so I really think that he has that like I think he's in my pick. So I think that he is very likable, very personable, and people like him. Like he knows how to hype people up. He was like he knew the girls was gonna get him, and he was like hyping them up. And I'm like, you know how to you know how to do it. You know they like him.
Yes,
That's a good
and
point. Yeah.
basically, it could be as simple as because they're gonna go back to camp and and they're gonna compete with their tribe for the reward challenge. Um, they might just want to strengthen the reward challenge. It could just be that.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. They could go for the reward challenge.
But if they cared about Christina, they could have tried to save her. So clearly, there was no one to advocate for her on that tribe either.
Oh no, poor
And
Christina.
I know she
and
really had
and
no one.
and thus, the vote continues without Nate and ends up being 4 votes. Adam, Jenny, Parvati, and Rebecca all vote for Christina. Christina votes for Jenny, and Brad actually also votes for Jenny. I think Brad answered one of the questions because Jeff's like, did you feel like did you feel bad for Christina at all? And I think Brad was my answer. Like, yeah, I did feel kind of bad.
Oh.
So maybe his like emotions were like, let me not vote against her then, even though I know she's going home. Which is a nice gesture, but don't do that. Because now, if they care about it, you voted against everybody else.
I know, because then when they go back and then they start saying who voted for who, you want to know who's in your group and who's not.
Yeah. So we'll see if that goes. It might not go anywhere, but that's why there was 2 Jenny votes, and then all the other ones were Christina. So 3 people leave the show in these 2 episodes. That's Stephanie, Cao Boi, and Christina. So Ange, do you wish to see any of those 3 on a future season?
Ooh, I want to see current Cao Boi. I actually do feel like if see like because I feel like current Cao Boi is different than the normal like quote unquote people they usually have. So that would be fun to see. I think that would be very different. I felt like Cao Boi was a character personally. I thought he was cool. He said some things were low key kind of controversial, maybe high key actually. So uh high key controversial. I feel like he would just be good for the drama for me personally. Um but I feel like there's always some like young people with an older like more wiser person and like it could go for a cool little alliance you would say for nowadays. As for Christina, I she didn't really no. No. I didn't see her as someone I wanna, like, see again in the future, so sorry, Christina.
Very well, very well. Uh, but at least there's somebody, a rare yes then for the Cowboy at
Yes.
least.
He I won't forget him, I feel like. I'm gonna remember how he heals headaches. Like, I need him to do that again. I think that's what I'm missing. I need him to heal another person's
Oh, this
headache
is his red
and give
dots.
another person those red marks. Like, I need him to do that. Who needs the medic when we have Cowboy?
Fair enough, fair enough. Uh, so with that, I guess last order of business here is your current winner picks are Nate and Yule. Do you wish to change from either of them? But if you do that, you can never return.
Nope. I will stay still with my people. I actually feel like Nate and Yule are very strong right now. Like I'm feeling really good about Nate. Yule, yes, sometimes. Yes, no, but I think Nate very strong.
All right. All right. Very nice. Very nice. Uh so do either of you have anything else you want to discuss?
No, I think we covered it very well.
Yeah, yeah. I'm excited to
Happy
see
to
what's
have
up.
participated in your podcast,
Yes,
and
thanks. Thanks for coming
Yes.
by.
Yeah, thank you so much.
We're gathering a long list of people we need to invite back for like the finale.
you have
Yes.
like a roster.
We're gonna have like an
Yeah,
eight
yeah.
eight eight person finale episode.
Uh,
Oh, that would be incredible.
Oh, that'll be great. But yeah, let me know if you continue watching this season because I just from what not I know interesting things happen. So I would encourage you to keep watching, even if you're
Yeah,
not gonna come back
yeah,
with
okay.
us. But like if
Uh,
you watch on your own, you're probably gonna be faster than us. But still, if you happen to have watched it when we're doing another episode, then we'll be
okay,
happy to
so
have you back.
sounds great. I think I will continue with it because I feel now have committed to it. I like to know how it all turns out, even though I do know who the winner is, but to see how that person gets there.
Of course, of course. I mean, that's not why I like
The journey of it.
a
Mhm.
lot of these are like that for me too, where it's like it's been so long, I don't remember the in between parts. Where I'm like, and then something will happen, like, how did they get out of this? And so it's uh it's some cool stuff. But thank you all for tuning in. Next time we will be going through episodes 7 and 8 as we get pretty much to the halfway point, maybe like a little bit beyond the halfway point. So pretty exciting. But until then, and until we speak again, ciao.